is breaking news from KSL.
We are interrupting Studio 5 right now to bring you breaking news. Weber County Sheriff's Office giving an update right now on that tragic situation at West Haven. A mother and her 3 young children found dead inside of a car.
All had been shot, and a handgun was recovered in that car. So let's listen into this new information coming in right now.
Homicide Task Force, as well as agencies officers from Roy PD responded to assist us. Our detectives have been working diligently throughout the night, gathering evidence, processing the vehicle in the house. As of right now, the 4 individuals have been taken down to the medical examiner's office to determine the primary cause of death. That's pretty much all the information we have to give out right now. More information will be provided at a later date when we have all the evidence that we need to put out. Oh, yeah. So this is going to continue to be an active investigation, crime scene area. We're just asking the public to please be patient with us. These are complex cases, and just stay away from the area. I think that's all the information we have right now.
So, are you treating this as a homicide?
Until we get the determination from the medical examiner on the cause of death, we haven't made a determination yet.
Suspects.
No, with the evidence we have, there doesn't appear to be any threat to the public safety or the community around here.
So no fifth party involved that you can tell right now?
But the investigation where it's going, we don't have that information right now. Like I said, until...
They knew of 2 children that the woman had, so is this 3rd child related to her, do you know?
I do not know that. We're still in the early stages of this investigation, so more information will be provided when we figure out who's related to who. And
have you guys been able to enter the home at all?
Yes, we've been into the house last night.
So you've already searched the search warrant?
Yes. Yes, last night we did.
Have you been able to determine whether the car they were all in was inside or outside the home, on the street, or?
It was parked in front of the house.
It was in front of the house.
Like on the street or the driveway? Or?
In the driveway.
Can you say anything about who discovered the deceased?
It was a family member that had come home and discovered him.
Any idea of how long they may have been there before being discovered?
At this time, we don't know. We're still reviewing video footage from cameras around the neighborhood to determine how long the car was there.
Are you aware of any past calls to this house?
That's all part of the investigation, and when we do our briefing again, probably tomorrow or later this week, we'll have more information on that.
Could you go over the age and genders of the kids one more time? Because we'd been told by a neighbor that and I know can't release like who's related to who right now, but we've been told that a mother had a 2-year-old boy and a 1-year-old daughter. We were told 1-year-old girl, 2-year-old girl, 4-year-old boy. I didn't know if those were still...
And I don't have that information right here in front of me. I don't know.
Okay.
Any idea when you'll have another update on this case?
It'll be later this week. We'll reach out to all the media outlets and let you know.
Could you say, I know this goes into opinion, but just how tough of a case this is?
These types of cases are very tough on everybody involved as well as the community. I mean, whenever you may have little kids die in such a way, then it's very difficult for our officers, our deputies, our CSI team, the homicide task force, and neighbors.
Imagine a big impact on the family, because we've been told that there are other family that were living in this house as well.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening there to the Weber County Sheriff's Office giving an update on this very tragic situation that's been unfolding in the West Haven area. Last night around 9:47, police were called there and they found a woman and 3 young children dead inside a vehicle, all the result of an apparent gunshot wound, different gunshot wounds. And so we heard from the Sheriff's Office there, 4-year-old boy, we know a 2-year-old girl, and then a 1-year-old girl, and then the 32-year-old woman who was also inside that vehicle.
Our crews have been on scene since those very early morning hours, showing us what they saw, because in light of the ongoing investigation, oftentimes you hear that wording, it's an ongoing investigation. Although certain things might seem cut and dry, they are not assuming anything, and they don't put out information, as you can see, that they do not have, and that they have not decided once they speak to the medical examiner and have conclusive reason to believe this is what happened as far as those deaths. But they did say a gun recovered there in that car.
Yeah, there's questions, we need to get the confirmed details in terms of who is related to who, how this all came to be, how long this woman and those children were in the car, in the driveway, they said, of this home, and who ended up finding them. So those are all things that we will try to get to the bottom of and be sensitive to as we try to get that information. Brian Carlson is there at the scene, and Brian, I can only imagine just how devastated that neighborhood is right now.
Yeah, Shara, there's been a lot of people in this neighborhood in shock and really a bit on edge out here today, really grasping for answers as to why this happened. And you have police kind of giving us what they know, but really there's a lot of people kind of wondering, why did this family die?
Seeing police covering the street, responding to the deaths of a mother and her 3 young children is leaving this West Haven neighborhood in shock.
Blows me away. I mean, she's super happy, very kind of outgoing gal, super nice. The kids were just fun to be around.
Just before 10 o'clock last night, their bodies were found inside this SUV in front of this home. The mother, 32 years old, and the children, ages 4, 2, and 1. Right now, Weber County Sheriff's deputies aren't saying how they died, except each had gunshot wounds, a handgun was found in the car, and there's no threat to the public.
We have 4 dead people. We need to do an investigation to figure out how it led to that.
Police towed the car away early this morning and say they're waiting on autopsy results before searching the house. Relatives of the mother and children coming by to learn what they could, but too shook up to share their grief on camera. Neighbor Darren King lives next door and says he's been close with the mother's family since they moved in.
They would usually gather on Sunday night for like family dinner. She would come over and she'd bring food over like whenever they were cooking. Just a sweet family.
King knows she recently moved back into the home to live with her father, whose wife passed away this summer, and can't imagine the added pain he and the rest of the family must be going through.
After he lost his wife of 50 years, and now to lose his daughter and his grandkids, and his grandkids were his life.
King, like others in the neighborhood, waiting for answers to bring closure to this shocking tragedy.
Now, investigators are hoping to provide those answers for this neighborhood and for the families and everyone involved. They say this has been something, they've been on scene here for roughly 14 hours. But this case is also something they haven't seen before like this here in West Haven. So as we continue to get those updates and we find them here on scene here for you, we'll bring them to you here on KSL. Back to you.
Brian, before we let you go, just a few follow-up questions for you. As we came into our breaking news coverage here, we missed kind of maybe the first few moments of the sheriff's office speaking. And we want to be sensitive to this, but did they say if this is considered strictly a homicide and they're looking for a suspect, or is this something else?
Well, we asked them that question throughout the day, and earlier this morning they mentioned that they're not willing to call it anything yet, and that includes a murder-homicide. They say we have 4 people who've died. They're taking their bodies to get those autopsies done at the medical examiner's office, and what we missed at the beginning of that press conference is that's where they want to leave it. Until they have those answers definitively of how they died, then they're not going to move it forward to what a suspect might be or who possibly committed these killings. But what we can add for context there is that, again, they don't have a suspect information. They don't think there's a threat to the public. They told me there was a gun found in the car, and they know these people died with gunshot wounds.
Okay, so kind of piecing that together right now. Brian, we appreciate your coverage. We know that's very difficult to be out there and a very sensitive situation for that entire community, so we thank you for your sensitivity to that.
Thanks, Brian.
Also, be sure to download the KSL Plus app to get the breaking news updates straight to your phone. As we get more information, we will certainly put that out there.